Hey there, sheepdoggers, and welcome to another Blood Bowl 2 video. This one is in the same vein as one of the previous ones, which is how to play against. Now, you guys seem to enjoy the how to play against chaos that I did. It's just kind of, you know, a little extra help, a little kind of extra. It's just extra, basically. You know, I'd like to be able to help you guys with certain difficulties. Like, these aren't be all and end all guides or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you play how you play. The enemy team will, you know, play differently each time depending on the coach. You know, your luck will be different, but it's just, you know, it's just a little extra help so that while you're playing, you can go, oh wait, maybe I could do this. And this is a match against, I believe, it wasn't Vasta, was it? No, it was, okay, it was against Levy. This is a live stream on Twitch, and we already had one game, and he beat me in the first one, and on this one, I actually won. Let's go forward a bit, shall we? Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, this is not like oh hey look, this is me being awesome. This is just, you know, this is a game which was a rough one. It was fairly difficult, and I managed to win it. And it's a decent indication, in my opinion. So I kicked first because it would mean that he's going to be using more of his players. That's a weird thing to pop up randomly. It means that he's going to be using more of his players to protect the ball than to bash me. And I find usually that's an unfortunate beginning. I find usually that's a good choice. He did have a higher team value than me. You can see I have 4 rerolls. I bought a reroll and a bribe, I believe. Or possibly just a reroll. So I don't. Oh yeah, we have a few. We have a guy with tackle. We have guard on our ogre. We got a strength 4 lineman. We've actually got some nice stuff on this team. And yeah, you know, it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. It's difficult to play against Lizardmen a lot of the time. It's difficult to play Lizardmen. But if you come up against a good Lizardman coach, it can be very similar to coming up against just a Chaos coach, you know, like a high team value Chaos team. Because even though they don't have block automatically, once they have block, they're very, very dangerous. You know, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strength 4 players, and they have... Go flying. And they have 1 strength 5 player. Now, he does have 2 strength 5 players because he got plus strength on one of his Saurus. Lucky duck. But aside from that, yeah, there it is. You know, like what you're going to be wanting to do against the. Okay, so let's take it step by step. So teams like humans, teams like Skaven, teams like the Bretonians. What you're going to be wanting to do is hold up their sources. You don't want, like, even a Chaos team, even an Orc team, will have difficulties against a Lizardman team because of the pure amount of strength they have with them. So, you know, going up straight into a fist fight is not a good idea. And I would never advise it, really. And they're very mobile as well. They've got six movement on the big guy, and 8 movement on their skinks. You know, like if they have a movement up, which I believe one of his guys does. If you're wondering why he got the reroll there, it's because he dodged and got a dodge reroll, which was successful. And then failed the next dodge after that, which means he didn't use the dodge skill there. I believe he has a skink with high movement. Oh, you know what? I seem to remember he didn't actually put it on the pitch. Oh, no, cancel that. It must have been injured or something like that. in the previous match maybe, or so yeah, you can see how mobile they are. If they get plus movement, they're basically gutter runners. Yeah, except for with stunty, which is even more dangerous. You know, like, the problem with skinks is, let's look at this stunty. Ignore any enemy tackle zones when you're dodging, basically. So they can't pass, but if he was, if I didn't move like that, if he was to try and, like, okay, let's take it here. If he was to try and dodge through here, he wouldn't have penalties for dodging past these guys. So it would be, if he has agility 4, for example, it would be a flat 2+ dodging all the way through. Which is so, like, a skink with agility is so dangerous. And you don't want it ever. And I don't know if he just dodges through or not. Doesn't look like it, okay. So yeah, you know, it's something you really don't want to be messing about with, basically. Be very careful. Like, it's not like with the elves where you can kind of, you know, surround them and make dodging a bit more difficult for them. These skinks will always have a flat dodge rate. So you know, instead of, like, instead of presenting them with a lot of tackle zones to get through, it's better to just present them with... It just makes me laugh, that tackle. That animation. And yeah, there you go. There's the touchdown. Is that not the touchdown? I thought that was going to be the... Oh, it's not the touchdown. Sorry. So yeah, it's always going to be a case of the Lizardmen going in for these ridiculously strong pushes, these runs, and running game. Like, they do not think even slightly about passes. It is 100% running game with the Lizardmen. The likelihood of them getting a pass or getting a passing game going is, I mean, with the Sauruses at agility 1 and the skinks having stunty. Oh, there's his agility 4. Yeah, he's a dick. With those things going on, it's just a done deal, basically. So yeah, I mean, you know, aside from those observances, with teams like this, you know, sometimes it's just better to let them get the touchdown and then, you know, push it yourself. If you can get lucky and get the ball, great. But it's, you know, like me moving that guy there, it's not going to stop him from dodging around and trying to get at that ball. You know, if this was a different team, you know, they wouldn't have 6 movement and they wouldn't be able to maneuver like they're doing here. You know, I'd be a lot safer, I'd be a lot safer, like, holding them down in one area and pushing another. But, unfortunately... And also, they can take break tackle. You know, taking block break tackle on a Saurus is not terrible. Because you get a good chance. Bye, Trinity. So, let's get down to the crux. Like, on both strength and agility, your main tactic, and almost not your only tactic... But yeah, I'd say your main tactic almost all the time is take out the skinks. So play it. Yeah, there you go. That's just going to happen. He's got agility 4. That's just nasty. Fouling, block, tackle. Fouling, block, tackle. Anyone with those skills, you go straight at the skinks. You take them out. And you will have a much easier game because he won't have anyone who can actually pick up the ball. So yeah, you know, that's the deal, basically. I'd say if you can, if you can, the skink injury plan is nearly always the best plan. Yeah, yeah. It's you know, because there's other ways. Like if you're a chaos team, obviously taking out the sources is an option with Mighty Blow and Claw. But the thing is if they're a decent Lizardmen team, they're going to be going for block. If you're going for I did actually have a character called Levy after the coach of the enemy team. I can't remember if he injures him or not. I think possibly he scores the winning touchdown. Sorry, I'm receiving fairly important messages that need to be replied to. And I'm trying to cover it up by being like, oh, I'm just thinking about what to say next, but no, I'm not. By the way, interestingly enough, totally didn't mean to do that. That was 100% massive fail mistake. I meant to select that guy, and it did not work. So yeah, another tip: don't make those mistakes. But yeah, you can see, like, you know, going after these skinks is a great idea. I should have been going after the agility guy, who's there, but I instead went after the strength 3 guy, I think, which was a bit of a mistake. And yeah, you know, it's and you can see, like, once you've got block on the Sauruses, your offensive game is so strong. Because it's only double skulls, really, that's going to present you a massive problem. Because at the end of the day, you've got push, which is not that much of a problem. You've got defender down, defender stumbles. Both of them knocks the other side down if they don't have dodge. And then both down, which block takes care of. So you can only go down on a skull. And if you get most of your matches, you know, if you're against kind of more agility teams, you know, human, etc., you're not going to get, well, there's a skull. You're not going to get many single block dice. Even against chaos and other teams like that, you've got your skinks with their maneuverability. That was just a massive arse. And you can see why it was a rough match. You've got your skinks with their maneuverability. You've also got more strength players than any other team. So the reality of it is that you're likely sorted in regards to just in regards to double dice, you know, 2 dice blocks. It's mostly what you're going to be making, really. So it's pretty much a safe bet to go, like, you know what? Yeah, take block on the Sauruses and be set for a while. Which makes the Lizardman offense so strong until those skinks go away. So a Lizardman team's going to be protecting his skinks, and it's part of the reason why I advocate letting the Lizardmen receive first. Just purely because it's going to mean your Lizardman team is the Lizardman team you're playing against is going to be trying to protect his skinks, which gives you, especially as a strength team, it gives you a little more leeway because he's going to be using his Saurus to cage up to protect his skinks, and therefore he's got less players to get 2 dice blocks with, and you can work on knocking his guys down and all that kind of thing. You know, you don't want to get in a full-on fist fight, either with strength or with agility, really. And there's another touchdown. You know, like, the pure fact that I made a misplay where I threw the ball backwards accidentally and then failed to pick up with a reroll, you know, with an automatic, like, sure hands reroll, just indicates sometimes how, like, this is the theory I've crafted about my luck, because, you know, everyone says, like, oh, sheepdog luck, and it's true. I don't have good luck most of the time, and I accept that. And, you know, it's also true that sometimes I have good luck, but the reason my luck looks so much worse than other people's. The reason my luck looks so much worse than other people's is just the pure fact that I fail at, like, clutch moments, if you get what I mean. Like, I fail in those really, really, like, pure moments where you're just like, oh god, you know, this is, oh god, this is like, this is a really important moment. I need to not roll a 1. I need to not roll a double 1. You know, like, if you've seen the match, I think it was it Skaven? Or the Dark Elves? Where it was the last turn, I needed to make 1 going for it. And I would have got the winning touchdown, because we were drawing at the time. And I needed to make that one. I needed to make that one going for it, and I had a reroll as well, and I failed it, and I was like, oh, this is a double 1, and then I got another 1, and I failed, and it was the end of the match. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Is like, oh, you know, like that's a double 1, but it's not match winning or losing, technically speaking. Although it's not great. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about for my luck, basically. Is those moments where you're just like, oh god, that's not going to go well. So yeah, sorry, I went off a little bit to talk about that kind of thing. But yeah, the one of the things with the Lizardmen you want to be doing is, as an agility type team, you want to be taking up, until he gets break tackle especially, you want to be taking up his sources, like spreading them out, splitting them up, knocking them down when you can, but splitting them up into kind of, you know, further away places, like, you know, a source here, using your linemen when you can to keep them out of the way while you go for your touchdowns, and while you're going for your touchdowns, also go for the skinks. That's kind of, you know, if you distract a Lizardman player enough, he will forget to look after his skinks. And then when he gets the skinks down, that's when you're sorted. That's when you're like, yeah, awesome. You know, when you've got a couple of skinks injured and knocked out, and he's got less options, you know, you're in a great situation there. If you can injure a couple in the first half, then in the second half he's got less options. If you can take out a couple of more, you know, you're not guaranteed to, but if you can take out a couple more, there's KO. That's almost perfect. I mean, it's the end of the half almost, but yeah, it's good times basically. It's and luckily, oh lord, and also tackle's awesome. And there's an injury, so we got a KO and then an injury, so he's got 2 more skinks left. Which skink was that? I don't think it was an important. That was just a loner dude. And there you go. We managed to get a 2-1 in the first half. Like, that is a lot of scoring. To be fair, it was part and parcel of my misplay and of my of my bad luck. You know, failing the short hands the next time. But still, you know, it's a high scoring half. So yeah, you know, like, honestly, the Lizardman team is one of the simpler teams to fight. At the end of the day, like, yeah, they're difficult to fight, but they are more simple. You know, you want to be Donatello. Down you go. KO. I didn't actually think that was a KO, but yeah, that helps as well. You know, if you can, in fact, take out a Saurus or 2, like, that's great. But never put your plans into that. Never plan to take out his Sauruses, because it's just not likely to work. Going for the Skinks is by far the better play, even as a Chaos team. Because once he loses those Skinks, he can't pick up the ball. He's going to have a massive difficulty getting any touchdowns. And, you know, it's by far, in my opinion, the better play. So let's skip forward a little bit. What I tend to do, again in general, but also against the Sauruses, is I tend to pick a side. And against any strength team, I tend to pick a side, have a couple of options for throwing, but in general, just hope he goes for the bashing instead. You know, you see here, like if he'd have brought these guys round to defend. And this is a failing of strength teams in general. You know, you can see here, like, yeah, he got that guy through, but, and that's using up a reroll, which isn't terrible for him, but still, you can see here, like, he's going aggressive, and this is what strength teams tend to do. There's no one back here. Again, yeah, a skink, brilliant. But at the end of the day, that gives me the opportunity to go after his skinks. So he's got skink there, skink there, skink there. None of his guys are defending. They're all in here, you know, going after these guys. I mean, you can see here, like, the disparity, I guess you'd say. There you go. And yeah, it means I have the opportunity to go after these skinks to try and knock them down, and to make a throwing play. You know, get my guys up, keep my linemen on these Sauruses just to stop them from messing up my. Took a step forward, took 2 steps forward, by the way, to make the throw a bit better. I had 4 rerolls, and I have a reroll on my throw and a reroll on my catch, so that's why I did that. And it's 2-all. So we've got the draw, and of course, you know, again, I was thinking, should I wait? Should I, you know, go for the draw? At the end of the day, it's always more entertaining for you guys to see a win, or to see, you know, like some proper Blood Bowl games, instead of, you know, someone turtling up in the corner there and trying to, you know, squeeze a few extra turns, stop the enemy team from getting a touchdown back. Let's skip this. There we go. So yeah, like, while I wanted to do this to kind of do tips and tricks and, you know, like how to play against Lizardmen, at the end of the day, I was very aware while I was doing it that the way to play against the Lizardmen is kind of just take out the skinks and then try and get touchdowns. Try not to fight too much, but at the same time take up their Sauruses. Like, that's the tactic, guys. You know, and I mean, a good Saurus player, a good Lizardman player, will take the break tackle on at least a couple of their guys, you know, to make up for that tactic. But they don't like to, because they want block, and they want tackle, and they want mighty blow, and all those things. But yeah, like, I'd say look out for opportunities to go after the skinks. Look out for just seize the opportunity, especially as an agility team, or you know, human Bretonian team. Wait for that opportunity that will come, where they just leave themselves open, where they make a mistake, and you can get in there and really, you know, put 2. And again, you can see, like, this left side is obviously more open, so I decided to go for this, you know, to kind of try and open this side. Getting a KO, again, is great. Like, it wasn't my intention, but getting a KO opens up this side even more. You know, get a lineman, hold up this dude, try and hold up this center a bit. And then I've got someone in defense as well. I didn't make good use of my guard. I need to get back on my game regarding guard. I guess I just haven't been playing teams where I've had the opportunity to take guard that much. Dwarves are a great example of learning how to use guard. If you have dwarves, get guard on a few of your guys early on, because you've already got block, and then you really learn how to use guard to just decimate an enemy team. But yeah, sorry, I've been going over like just random tips and thought. This is almost like a random thoughts thing for Blood Bowl 2. But yeah, definitely take out the skinks. Try and keep away from a toe-to-toe fight. You know, use your players, use your disposable players to keep away from. That was always nice. Then that's his strength 3 guy gone. Which also, okay, this is the perfect example. You see here, his ball carrier skink is left open following an unfortunate misplay. This guy's very close to the ball. We knock him down, spin him around. Two injuries in a row. Yes, fairly lucky, but they are skinks. You knock him down enough, that's great. And here we go with the runaway. Now, he doesn't have break tackle, so you get these guys up, you put people in front of him, you put people in the way, and he's going to have a ridiculously hard time. That was actually a misplay, by the way. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to click somewhere else. And yeah. But yeah, as you see, so this all of these sources currently are in base to base. So and unfortunately losing the ogre is unfortunate, but it means that it's making it a lot more difficult for him to actually get up there. You know, none of these guys can really reach anyway. The skink has a possibility, but it would be 2 red dice, 2 dice that I would choose against a guy with block, and he has to do it going for it as well. And all those things. Like, this is an almost definite touchdown. And it came from a 1 dice misplay. I wouldn't say misplay. 1 dice bad luck. You know, and then I managed to kind of get in there, take his skinks out, and all that kind of thing. This is risky now, because he failed the going for it. And he got lucky. He got defender down and a push, so I had to choose the push. But even still, all I need to do is blitz, take him out, and then go. And there you go. 3-2. It was a really good game, and I'm actually happy to, like, even if people are like, oh, this tips and tricks, you know, how to play against Lizardman team isn't very good because you're not being that descriptive about what I should do to play against the Lizardman team. I mean, you know, it's fairly simple what you do to play against the Lizardman team. But just being able to show you guys this game is quite nice because it shows you, you know, a little bit of luck mixed with good tactics can help you beat any team. It's just about minimizing your risks and taking advantage of misplays or, you know, anything like that. Like, hold off until you get that moment where you're just like, now I can go for it. Extra reroll. So yeah, I mean, you know, final thought. That was just unfortunate, bouncing into his hands. At least, at least it would have been nice to make him use his reroll. But yeah, it's oh, bye Tipsy. You know, it's got 4 turns left, very able to get a touchdown. However, having taken out 3 of his 4 skinks means he can't use the running game. Now, the running game, what you got to look out for is him holding back the ball carrier and running a couple of skinks up to about midpoint, maybe protecting them with his sources. And because what he can do is the handoff, you know, when you go base to base with your ball carrier and one of your other players, the handoff is basically when you pass the ball to another player, but you don't throw it. You can only do one of them in a half, but with the skinks and their high movement, and their ability with stunty to like dodge through really easily, it means that you can pass the ball without having to use the pass skill and without having to take the detriment that is passing with someone with stunty. And you can see again, like this is something you'll see a lot as you play, and as he loses more skinks, he is sorry, he is looking after his skinks less, and he's looking after his back half less. If you take out a couple of his skinks, he will occupy your half with his sources, going for injuries and things like that. Like, obviously, he'll still try and protect the ball and all those kind of things, but at the end of the day, you know, you can see here very clearly that his half is not in his brain. He's thinking, if he can dominate your half, you know, get onto all of your guys, you know, knock you down a lot, then he's set. But at the end of the day, you know, that's just mostly wishful thinking. Like, if you play it right, you'll always have a few players free. You know, even a few risky dodges to get you rolling. You know, that's great. Although we're getting stunned a lot. And there's his last reroll. He's really going for that touchdown. So, I mean, again, here, you know, your options are fairly limited. So, you know, don't be afraid to dodge. If you have those rerolls, don't be afraid to dodge away from his sources. Especially to go after. And now he's got no. He's got nothing to pick up the ball with. As I remember, also, just to keep you guys in the loop, as it were. As I remember, that was a he had missed it next game. He re-rolled he apothecaried it, and he got dead. So he decided very cleverly to go with the missed next game. But yeah, there you go. We're 3-2 up, and he has no one with more than one agility on the pitch. So, you know, he can go for injuries and stuff like that. He has no more rerolls. Like, even if he had rerolls, the likelihood of picking up the ball is very, very slim. I think he just has to roll a 6, even, like, with a free ball on the ground. So, you know, it's, it's very, very unlikely that he will manage to pick up that ball. And I don't have to really go after the ball at all. I can concentrate on survival if I want. You know, any of these things are viable, really. Yep. And it's the last turn for me, last turn for him, so... Unless he can pick up the ball now, it's game over. Whoop. And I've still got my my. Oh no, I don't have my apothecary anymore. What did I use? I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember what I used the apothecary on. Does he have the ability to? He's got to do going for it, and he's probably okay. Well. It's going to be a rough one anyway, but if he tries... Yeah, trying to get doing the blocks first is probably the better idea. Just purely because, you know... It's what he's got left. He's got strength guys left, so he may as well try. Get a little bit more SPP before he does the impossible thing, which is picking up the ball. So he needs a 5+ to pick up the ball, and it failed. So there's the game. And yeah, like, you know, when you're playing against the Lizardman team, that's basically what you should be thinking is take out the skinks And, you know, even if I'm 1-0 ahead, if you're 1-0 ahead and you take out the skinks, the likelihood is he's not going to pick up the ball. And even if he does, you still have the chance to knock him down. Even a both down that takes both of you out, as long as he drops the ball, it's going to be massively frustrating for him. So there you go, guys. That's just, you know, general thoughts and feelings and thing. At the end of the day, yeah, there it is. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped a little bit and my random ramblings were good. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Always helps. And I will see you in the next video.